To achieve success, every profession relies on dedication and sacrifice. Artists, just like any other profession, also require effort and determination to make their dreams come true. But what if it doesn't always go that way? Isoo attended a painting exhibition of renowned artist No Young Jae. He gained fame for his series on life and death. While browsing the exhibition, Isoo stumbled upon the body of No Young Jae, stabbed to death. He decided to reveal himself as a cop and immediately secured the area for investigation. Kang Hyun rushed to the scene but discovered that the red liquid on the body was not blood but paint. Moreover, judging from the condition, the victim had been dead for over 10 hours, so she released all the guests. Kwon Do-jun, an assistant to artist No, mentioned that he last saw him at 9 p.m. when he finished work. By 8 a.m., he was preparing snack, but when he couldn't reach No by phone or find him at home, he got worried. On his way back to work, he was involved in a car accident, delaying his arrival until 10 a.m. When he entered the gallery, he found the body along with everyone else. While they were talking, they met with the director of the gallery. She provided information that there were many people who wanted Mr. No dead. He was a temperamental person. A week ago, someone broke in and splattered red paint on his paintings, like what was done to his body. However, in the end he let the culprit go. The studio changed its CCTV yesterday, so there were no images of the incident. Isoo and Kang Hyun went to No Young Jae's house to inform his wife, Ju Won-young. It turned out she was not saddened by the news at all and even mentioned it was good she didn't divorce him, as she would inherit his wealth. Last night, she was with her new boyfriend, Bae Jin-kyu, until 2 a.m. Isoo, who had been kicked out of his father's house, had to find a new place to stay, so he returned to his old childhood home. The house was filled with memories and warmth of his childhood. Suddenly, the neighbor from across the street came over and asked to enter the house. She introduced herself as the neighborhood caretaker. Isoo was surprised that such a position still existed. She noticed the walls were dirty and suggested changing the wallpaper. Isoo said he did it himself, as he had lived here until he was 7 years old. It had been a long time since anyone lived in this house. Back to the investigation, the forensic results suggested that Mr. No was first stabbed in his back, but it wasn't severe. The murderer probably didn't intend to kill him at first, but when Mr. No turned around, something might have happened that made him change his mind and stab him again in the front until he died. Kang Hyun was looking for more information on the suspect who used to splatter paint on the paintings, so she went to ask Kwon Do-jun at the studio. He showed Kang Hyun the video footage of the incident. At that time, Mr. No, his wife, and him were selecting paintings for the exhibition. Suddenly, a woman named Oh Jong-soon came and poured the color on the painting, saying it shouldn't be exhibited. She also accused No Young Jae of being a murderer. Kang Hyun then went to see Oh Jong-soon. Her daughter was a student of No Young Jae but had her work copied and exhibited by him. He promised to help her study abroad if she kept it a secret. However, in the end, he betrayed her. He instead accused her of copying his work. She tried to complain, but as she's not a famous artist, no one cared to give her support. She ended up killing herself. Later, Oh Jong-soon saw an advertisement for No Young Jae's exhibition. Unable to bear her anger, she took the paint and destroyed the work that he copied from her daughter. Now, she only has a scarf that her daughter bought for her to remember her by. The investigation team found out that Bae Jin-kyu was secretly dating another woman. He planned to start a new business, spending over 2 billion won and boasting that he already had an investor. The CCTV in front of the gallery showed that on the night of the incident, a taxi dropped off a woman who covered her face and looked down the whole time. She even paid in cash without taking the change. However, from the description, the taxi driver didn't think it was Oh Jong-soon. And also, on that night, she was working at a public bathhouse the whole time, which was confirmed by the CCTV. Isoo went to the studio to buy a painting that had been splattered with paint. He told Kwon Do-jun that every painting had a story to tell, even if it was damaged. Isoo himself had a picture in his memory, but it was fading. When he saw a painting that Kwon Do-jun did about a rainy day, he asked if he knew it. It was a picture of a woman who seemed to be drowning but viewed from above. Kwon Do-jun showed it to Isoo, but it wasn't the picture Isoo was looking for. When Isoo returned home to hang the painting, he found the rat and dropped the painting, causing some damage to the color. The colors that had come off revealed that something had been painted over this picture again. The team believed that Ju Wei-young had the motive to kill No Young-jae because she would receive benefits of up to 2 billion won, the same amount Bae Jin-kyu said he would invest. However, Ju Wei-young explained that it was Kwon Do-jun who had more motive to kill the artist. He had been working for No Young-jae for 10 years, but when he asked for funding to study abroad, No Young-jae accused him of copying someone else's work, leading to his funding being denied. Kim Jin traced the scarf that Oh Jong-soon wore on the day of the paint splattering incident and found the seller. However, when questioned, the seller said that the person who bought it was not Oh Jong-soon but a man. Kim Jin then asked the seller to point out the buyer from a photo, and it turned out to be Kwon Do-jun. The team hurried to find him. Meanwhile, Isoo tried x-raying the picture and found a hidden signature underneath the painting. He then took it back to Kwon Do-jun, suspecting why there was an assistant's signature on the back of a famous artist's painting. Afraid of being caught, Kwon Do-jun attacked Isoo with a vase, but Isoo, skilled in MMA, managed to handle him. Kwon Do-jun had been a shadow artist for No Young-jae for the past 10 years, constantly improving his skills but never getting credit from renowned works. When he heard that No Young-jae lied about him copying others' works, which caused him to lose funding for further studies, he became very angry. That night after he left, he came back again through the back of gallery. Knowingly there was no CCTV, he stabbed at the back of No Young-jae. But he didn't intend to kill Mr. No, so after he calmed down, he came back to apologize, only to find that No Young-jae had died. Isoo had always felt envious of artists because they were dedicated to making their dreams come true. However, Kwon Do-jun didn't understand this. He deceived himself. He didn't make No Young-jae famous. Instead, he used No Young-jae's name to build a reputation for his work. He had been living this way for 10 years, and it wasn't solely No Young-jae's fault. Feeling disappointed, Kwon Do-jun then stabbed himself with the broken vase, but the team arrived in time to save him. From what happened, Isoo didn't understand why both Jun-young and Kang Hyun had to be angry at him. There were many things in the police work that he himself didn't understand. So, he invited Kyung Jin to have a fancy meal and expensive wine, and Kyung Jin finally explained to him that Kang Hyun was the team leader, who had to take responsibility for everything, including the safety of the team's members. Every time Isoo encountered something, he should tell Kang Hyun first and not do it alone. Even high-ranking police officers didn't like her. Many were jealous of her for being so young yet having excellent work and got promoted to team leader. Also, there was an issue in the past where her father, a legendary policeman, was caught taking bribes shortly before retiring, so he was forced out despite his denial. Kang Hyun believes that Kwon Do-jun intentionally impersonated Oh Jong-soon to kill No Young-jae from the beginning. This suspicion arose from the fact that Kwon Do-jun bought a similar scarf to Oh Jong-soon's, but Kwon Do-jun himself was unaware of this. He then recalled that last month, Ju Wei-young had ordered him to get something for her, but he didn't know it was the scarf. The team then came up with a new hypothesis. If Ju Wei-young was the real culprit, she might have planned it after knowing the date of the CCTV change. She knew that Oh Jong-soon held a grudge against No Young-jae, so she used Kwon Do-jun to buy the scarf. On the night of the incident, she disguised herself as Oh Jong-soon, wearing that scarf, to commit the murder. However, things went unexpectedly when Kwon Do-jun stabbed No Young-jae first. The problem is there is no evidence to tie her to the crime. Furthermore, a key witness in the case, Kwon Do-jun, is also a suspect. Isoo feels guilty for being partly responsible for Kwon Do-jun's stress that led to self-harm. He paid for his hospital expenses and moved him to a luxurious VIP room. When Kwon Do-jun realized that Ju Wei-young might be the killer, he wanted to help. He remembered that No Young-jae always kept a vault key with him, so if she wanted the real asset, she might have stolen the key as well. This time, Isoo quickly informed Kang Hyun and came up with a new plan. The next day, Kang Hyun went to inform Ju Wei-young that Kwon Do-jun had committed suicide due to stress, likely concluding the case. Ju Wei-young and Bae Jin-kyu went to the bank to retrieve assets from the vault. However, they were caught in a police trap. Kang Hyun used luminol to check the key that Ju Wei-young used to open the deposit box and found her fingerprints along with bloodstains. She was then arrested as the murderer of No Young-jae. After closing the case, Isoo helped reveal the truth that No Young-jae had plagiarized the work of Oh Jong-soon's daughter. He also helped organize an art exhibition for Oh Jong-soon, for which she was very grateful to Isoo. She had been living in agony and suffering every day, but now she could breathe again.